Hello, gorgeous souls. This is your homework family reading for Libra. That went over pretty well. Sorry about the bell. I know some of you don't really like it, but that has to be that way. Now, Neptune, do you really need to be all up in mommy stuff? Seriously? Seriously? Can we maybe move out of mommy stuff? Sorry. Okay, this is for homework family reading for all Libra signs. Let me move this up just a little bit. I'm trying in a new way and trying to be comfortable here. Okay, all Libras, homework family reading, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Libra. For those who I am channeling, before I get into what Spirit is giving me, some of you are having anger and resentment problems. But that problem has actually caused, or is actually caused by fear, being afraid of being powerless or rejected, is basically what I'm getting. So I'm feeling like I'm getting anger and resentment and frustration from that, but it's really deeper down than that. Is the anger is the original idea, and I'm being given green energy, so they're telling me that this has to do with growth for you at this time, and realizing you got to get past that anger, that resentment, because where the situation really lies for who I am dealing with, who I am picking up, is really truly dealing with your feelings. Getting into that feminine energy, or acceptance and understanding, being flexible enough to work in the feminine energy. Because that's where the intuition is. That's also where the creativity is. And realize that that's a problem in your mind, more or less. There's a problem for some of you, whoever it is that I'm channeling, that the anger and the frustration is more or less an outlet, because the truth really is fear, rejection, powerlessness is what you feel, but this is more of what you believe than what is really true, is what Spirit is telling me, because they're mixing what they're telling me with what I'm picking up as an empath. I feel choked, like my heart's in my throat, like I have something to say, but like I'm afraid to really say it. Like I can't get it out, and my stomach feels like it's turning over because of the fear of what might come of me actually saying and speaking up for what it is I need to do. They're saying for some of you, this is definitely situations of relationship grief, blame, and shame that you're actually working through. Is that it? That? They're just saying it's sensitivity. Okay, but what Spirit gives me... Oh yeah, this is for the whole month of September. I'm sorry. I'm a whole 4 minutes in before I get to this point. This is not just for the 1st through the 15th. This is for the whole month of September. I'm going to start trying to do... I apologize. I'm going to start trying to do videos like the astrology for the month and tarot for the month. So I'm going to try to start doing 2 videos, and I need to just speed all of that into September's, because I'm running out of time, so that I can get on board with the next month and starting to move forward. So I'm needing to let you know that this is for the whole month of September at this time, unless I feel like I have to come back out with another video. And then I'm going to be switching it to 2 videos, as long as everything works out. Well, thank you, Spirit, because they're giving me a thumbs up on that. Okay, but what Spirit is saying for you right now, for Libras, outside of the emotions and what they were telling me I'm channeling, and seeing past the channeling and into the truth, is what Spirit gives me for you for the month of September is an owl. But owls are, for me, owls speak to me of, wisdom, the depths of our wisdom, coming from our unconscious energies, our unconscious truths, because it's actually coming from a higher truth, a higher self. It's not like that 12th house of what you hide from yourself. It's the truth. Because for me, owls kind of go back and forth between the living and the dead. So this is a full rounded circle, like cycling of the truth of the wisdom. And what they're showing me, though, is they're bringing this wisdom to you, but they're telling me to definitely pay attention to what you, because they're giving me their eyes, they're giving me, their eyes and their ears. That's what they're really bringing attention to. So, and what Spirit says directly is seek, shed, see, and then see the rays of light. See the light, see the truth, but you're going to have to seek it out. Shed the bullshit, so that you can see the truth. You're going to have to seek past this and get into a deeper level. But what they're also giving me is a gator. Like an alligator, crocodile, alligator. And for me, this always has to do with ancient wisdom. As soon as I see a gator, I think ancient wisdom. They're saying the gator has to do with making you see the truth and protect your truth from the heartache. The heartache and the helplessness that is caused in the past because of that. You're getting into a more depth of it, so you're finding the healing. Because gators also speak to me of protecting your eyes. And this is saying you're going to be seeking and shedding, seeing the truth, so that you can see the true light, the true rays of light. So this is definitely about healing this month, is what I'm getting out of that. Now let me flip here, because I had my notes in front of me. It's just the way Spirit speaks to me. So I kept that in front of me, but I want to make sure I have the right houses up, so I can hit the astrology real fast, and then hit the cards to see what the cards have to say. Alright, for the month of September. Now, because I'm giving you the whole month, I'm going to throw just a little bit out into October too, so I'm giving you more of a full spectrum here. You have the full moon that's taking place in Pisces on the 14th, but it's not Pisces. It's like Pisces with void, of course, to Aries, because in the evening of the 14th, that full moon is actually going to be in Aries. But prior to that, during the day, you'll still be in Pisces energy. So I call it the void, of course, because you are going to be picking up both, the end of a cycle and the beginning of a cycle. That's what Pisces and Aries is, even no matter where it is for you in your chart. On a universal level, it's the 12th house and the 1st house. So it has to do with healing and beginnings, ending and beginnings, rebirthing in a form. But on the 14th also, you have Mercury and Venus, which is moving into Libra, into your sign. So you'll be coming into this energy. But prior to that, I think it's from the August 28th until September 7th, I was saying in my healing messages videos, you have Othala, which is formed in the astrology, again, from August 28th until September 7th. Othala is the rune of sacred space. It's speaking to you about how and what is your sacred space, and will you acknowledge that sacred space? It asks you to stop looking at the small ideas. Look at the big picture in your life. Look past the frame. Sorry, you can't even see it in these. But look past the frame and look at the entire wall. Or don't look at the wall. I mean, like they're looking at the window, which happens to be on a wall. It's looking at the window and the wall and out of it. Look at the entire thing. Where are you not seeing the full big picture, the full truth? Because they're asking you to get deep with what's sacred to you. But even more than what's sacred to you, what is your sacred space? And that's this. This can't be taken away. It's that simple. The only way you lose any power of the soulfulness, of the depths of who and what you are, is if you didn't realize that you had that power and you accidentally gave it away. So from the 28th of August until the 7th of September, you have Othala in that astrology speaking to you specifically about what is sacred to you. What is your sacred space, and are you giving yourself that? Are you acknowledging it, and are you living it? Then you come into that full moon again on the 14th, which will be a Sunday, and I'll look it up in the astrology in a minute. Then you have, on that same Sunday, you have Mercury moving into Venus, into your sign. On the 18th, you have Saturn, which is going direct. Now, this is where karma takes its flip, because Saturn's been speaking to you inwardly for all of this time while it's been in retrograde about what you want to understand about that sacred space so that it can create it. Okay? So now it's been listening to what you've been trying to communicate so that it can actually operate and make that start to become so. So the karmic situation of what you put out, what you bring in, what you honestly think and know and believe in. I mean, it's like they say, if you don't believe things that will change, then they won't. But it's not because they can't. Karma has a way of doing its little magical tricks. And when Saturn shifts, that's part of what that energy is. On the 18th. You then have, on the 23rd, the sun enters Libra, making it Libra season. You have a new moon taking place in Libra. So the new moon and the sun are both going to be there on the 28th. And just to make sure you're on board with exactly where this is going, since this is a whole month, October 3rd, you have Pluto that's going direct. Pluto's been in retrograde with Saturn. Saturn's going direct on the 18th. Pluto's right around the corner, about to do the same thing, and is about to go direct. Pluto is the only sign when it's in retrograde that doesn't turn inward, because Pluto is always inward. It's death, decay, and destruction, but renewal, rebirth, regeneration. It is rebirth. It is reincarnation. With Saturn being there with it in Capricorn, that automatically puts it on a universal level of getting soulfully understanding how to set new foundations within that outer community that fits your sacred space. And these two are having this conversation going like this. You know, you're still going to have Pluto going like this because it's going, well, what didn't Saturn fully get? Because I have to finish rebirthing this as soon as it shifts on October 3rd. But prior to that, on 18th, it's going to start doing that. So you've got both of them going from outward to inward. I mean, going from inward to outward, where they're going to start shifting that karmic energy and making things change over the next couple months. But it all has to do with how you think, what you feel, what you truthfully believe, and what you're projecting. So that will change that karmic energy. But I'm making sure you realize that has to do with Pluto's coming up. Pluto and Saturn are definitely in shadow prior to their shifting dates on the 18th of September and the 3rd of October, which means they are definitely looking at darker aspects until they do. Mars will not enter Libra until October 4th. So Mars is the only one that's staying in Virgo when everything shifts. Now, let me see where that really is for you directly. Let me get out of this Othala bit. You're going to have a T-square, which is part of that Othala, for pretty much the whole month of September, I believe. Yeah. And that's going to be Neptune speaking with all of these energies that are coming from Virgo and into Libra, which is the Sun, which is Mercury, Venus, Mars, even Ura. And they're not necessarily getting along with Jupiter. Now for you, this is mainly happening before everything shifts. So this is in the first half of the month you'll be feeling most of this energy. And then as it shifts, it'll be coming into that first house. But this is going to be that first, second, third. The third house, which is your communication, how you communicate. And let me make sure you remember that's your siblings, your neighbors. But it's also your short journeys. It's your trivia. It's your detail-oriented conversations. And are they detailed properly? Because we're talking about text messages, emails, voice messages. I mean, you're talking about like messages left on Facebook and stuff. Are the details actually there? Are you leaving things out? Because it's speaking with, like I said, Lilith and Neptune, which is the 6th house, which is those everyday, daily, mundane tasks, which is coming back around to your 12th house. So is the communication, this is actually more of communication with yourself. It is with the outer community, but the root is with self, okay? Because that 12th house is Virgo for you. So you're cleaning up details before you're reborn when the sun enters enters Libra. This is that cleanup time. This is like a spring cleaning. Okay, this is where you're getting rid of the hidden self. You're getting rid of the karmic debts. You're getting rid of your unconscious actions because they're all being brought to consciousness. You're getting past the self-deception. You're getting past your secrets in the closets, your skeletons in the closets, your grief, sorrow, secrets, shame, blame. Like I said, I keep being choked up, so there's something about something you're wanting to talk to somebody, which is in your everyday, daily, mundane task within this communication, because something is keeping you from actually bringing these conversations up, and it's something that's hiding in that 12th house that you don't want to deal with, something that you have to karmically let go of. You have to rise above. You see what's happening? Because they're showing me how difficult that this is. Some kind of a membership of importance. It's some kind of membership or community. Maybe it's the relationship. Maybe it's grief, sorrow, shame, blame within the relationship. Maybe it's owning it. Maybe it's releasing it. But it's affecting the everyday, daily, mundane tasks. Sorry. This is where I get that stomach being flipped over because you're uncomfortable with having to do it or make these changes. This is from the daily work, from your daily everyday work, from your service to your diet to your health. And remember, your health and your diet is also the people you keep, the conversations you keep, the environment you keep. It's not just your food and your diet. It's speaking to you about your physical health, which has to do with that emotional, mental, and spiritual health as well. Are you in balance? If you're out of balance because you're lying to yourself about stuff that's are your skeletons in the closet and you haven't healed them, you haven't acknowledged them and worked through them and communicated what you need to communicate outwardly to whoever it is so that you can get this healing. Maybe it's just about, ending the cycle. Maybe it's about saying what has to be said so that the chapter can be closed. And maybe it's finding out that you were misinformed the whole time about what you believed. Who knows? I mean, but this is something that healing has to be said, and it's definitely something you're having problems wanting to communicate. And they're saying, for some of you, there's been gossip that's caused this problem, and it's not what you think. And they're saying this is not necessarily something that needs to be dealt with over a phone call, but it can be if the communication is properly done. But this is definitely about growth and depth and honor. Anything else? They're saying a responsibility to your own life and your own pursuit of pleasure will come from this healing. Anyway, that's something that's going to take place over the whole time, and that's a T-square, which means this is definitely not something that's comfortable for you. It's something you're going to be working through the whole month of September, getting to the depths of that. Now, the thing is, you've got Palace, because Palace I also am putting in that universal second house, which is asking you to get real with what you value. What is valuable to you in life? How do you value things? I mean, where do you find the beauty, the joy, the love? What do you value and hold dear? And then, what about yourself? Are you holding dear or not? And that valuableness as self-worth, self-value, self-esteem, because Palace has just moved into that second house, which is also your money house, but it's also your possessions. And what I mean is like things like your phone, little small movable possessions that are very important to you. But where we value, the value house speaks to us about how we create and spend our money, as well as how we create ourselves because of our self-worth, our self-value, our self-esteem, and where that will take us because of that higher vibration or lower vibration. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because if I'm being given Al and I'm being told to tell you to, where's the messages? To seek, to shed, to see, and to actually see the light, the ray of light, that I'm being given this energy with Alan. For me, this Palace happens to have moved into that universal second house. So this is also speaking to you of using strategic thinking to your benefit about how and what you value, and get real with that. Strategic thinking. She's Athena, the warrior goddess. So stop putting yourself down if that's the case. You have to learn to value yourself first and then value outwardly for some of you. Because like I said, Athena, the warrior goddess, she's strategic thinking. She's trying to help you. Is she actually talking to anybody? Not directly. But she is in pretty much opposition of Uranus, which is in retrograde. And Uranus is in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, is in your 8th house. So this is talking to you about where you're uncomfortable with the responsibilities the responsibilities, the rules, the joint efforts, joint finances, joint resources of different relationships, and where that transformational healing is not taking place because you don't feel like you've gotten the proper independence, individuality, uniqueness, freedom to be able to be free. Something's feeling like you're doing, like either somebody else is taking on the responsibility or you are, but it's not balanced. The relationship is out of balance in some form, which is throwing off the rules. And this could be anything. This could be wills. This could be joint, like I said, joint efforts, joint resources. This could be spouses. This could be money. This could be bankruptcy. This could even be the act of sex. What is the job within the relationships, and what are the responsibilities there? And how is that affecting your self-worth, your self-value, your self-esteem, and plain and simple, what you value in life? How is that affecting that? Because they're not necessarily getting along. You also have, for most of this time, you have obviously the North Node and the Sirius star, which is in Cancer, which is your 10th house, is not getting along with your 4th house. And for you, your honor, for you, it's your honor, your reputation, your prestige, your career, your financial situations, the responsibilities of the outer community, and taking responsibility for that outer community. Something there is not getting along with that 4th house, which is your karmic roots, your karmic lessons. This is where the reincarnation is created. This is saying that there's something about the home that you hold on to, trying to make it better, but the actual outer world is suffering. And in this case, it's about acknowledging where the outer world needs to be not suffering, because you're putting too much emphasis on the inner world. But this could also be dealing with your inner child, your emotional security. You may be giving yourself way too much emotional security or absolutely none, but the way that this feels, because it's rules, walls, boundaries, Saturn, Pluto, South Node, in that 4th house for you, is saying, in this case, you've most likely done this. I feel good and I feel safe, and this makes me feel safe. I'm going to hold on to this, and I'm going to hold on to you. And as long as I know that I've got you here and I can stroke you and I feel better, and then I'm going to be okay. But this is saying you need to let go, because there's something in the outer world that you should be fixing. Your honor, your reputation, your prestige, your professional career, your financial success. There's something about that outer community in general, which happens to be in Cancer for you, right? Happens to be in Cancer for you, which means there should be something nesting there. There should be something there that's helping enlighten you, helping find a new level of emotional security outside of yourself, which is going to bring a new happiness. You need to not covet that so much, because you're making yourself miss that is out there, more or less, is what I'm getting. Let me see what else I see. This has a lot of dealing with stepping out of your comfort zone. Really, really, truly, this is what a lot of this is going to be dealing with for you, is stepping out of your comfort zone, and over this amount of time, getting into those unconscious actions, making them conscious, getting past your more private, personal areas that you don't like to let others into. This is getting past your belief of what you believed free will was, and realizing that your free will can be so much more. And then taking it out into the community. And while you do that in these other relationships, because you've changed those mundane tasks, you've changed your daily patterns, that it's going to change the whole relationships of your life and your identity and yourself, because it's going to give you a new view of things. But this has to do with getting past some of that universal 12th house and its healing as you make it through September. The very first thing out is Queen of Wands. Yes, I read all over the cards in case you're new to this channel. It's just the way it happens to be for me. The Queen of Wands she knows what she wants. She's an independent leader. She's inspiring. She speaks to you of self-discovery. She is Leo. She is also speaks to you of Pisces energy, finding the roar within yourself so that you can heal that universal 12th house. This is a beginning. She has the eagle up here on top of her head, which speaks to me of rising above this. And if you've been following me at all, you know how I feel about the cheetah. The cheetah saying we're talking about rising our vibrations and actually shape-shifting our life, because those vibrations have changed and allowing us to rise and ascend to a brand new position, a brand new understanding that's going to be a lot more healthier for us. She is inspiring you to move forward, to believe in yourself. Libra. Libra. What does Libra need to know? They're saying for some of you, you've got the you've got the 8 of Cups. This is stagnant. This is empty energy. This is not feeling fulfilled. This is overextending, or the very lack of extending in the first place. The lack of efforts or overextending, so you're either too tired or you're not putting enough in. This is saying you're not really moving anywhere. You just feel stagnant. You're kind of not fulfilled. You're kind of empty. You're kind of bored. And that's because you're not connecting with what you truly desire. You're not connecting with your fire. You're not connecting with that inspiration. You're doing this. This makes me feel secure. But by feeling secure, you're not getting to move forward. You're getting stagnant. They're telling you need to be coming into a new place of power for yourself. This is the 4 of Discs, which in this deck is the 4 of Pentacles. This is supposed to be a castle. This is supposed to be from up above, like if you were a bird looking down on the castle. This speaks to you of Capricorn and the Sun. This speaks to you of illuminating a new foundation, a new security within that foundation. Being able to grow and bring stability and make it tangible to the very foundation. You're setting something in stone. You're setting a castle in stone, something brand new. If you're not connected to your true depths and through that 12th house, you will stay stagnant and you will not get that. The Star card. They're asking you, very plain and simple, what do you want, baby? What in the world do you want? The star card speaks to us also in Hebrew. I can't even pronounce how to properly say that, so I'm not even going to. But it's the righteous one. It is the light. It's the hook. So if you were going fishing and you're throwing your line out there, it's not like you throw the line out for the smallest fish in the sea or the smallest fish in the ocean. No, you want the biggest fish. You want to have the best thing you can. Hook what you want. If you stay stagnant, you don't make any changes, you're never going to throw the hook out there and you're never going to get what you truly want. You won't be able to connect with that fire, that inspiration, that power, stepping into knowing what she wants, going after it because she's going after and hooking what she wants and creating a brand new foundation. All of this has to do with get out of your comfort zone. Get out of your comfort zone and get out of your own way. You're not feeling fulfilled because you're in your way. Is there anything else before I need to switch cards? Some of you just keep redoing the same cycle. Temperance. For me, temperance has started to take on a whole new form. Temperance, and no matter what deck it is. Temperance happens to be one of my shaman symbols. So this is why when the card comes up, it doesn't really matter what deck I'm using. This has to do with revolution. This is the fire within the water. This is finding the balance. You guys are Libra. I can't say this enough time. Libra wants harmony and balance in everything. It wants to find justice. Well, this is about finding it, but this is not about sacrificing yourself to find it. This is saying they switched places. The fire and the water will burn out the fire and the water, for one, the water will put out the fire, but the fire also will dissolve the water. They work together to be equal. They must work together. So this isn't about Libra just sacrificing the situation to create it. This is about you not forgetting yourself. No more stagnance. No more putting yourself in back. This is about finding what inspires you so that you can create the balance and go after what you truly desire and want and be able to bring it into tangible reality. Is this it? Before I hit the last deck. Okay, yeah, you were not counting that since like you're all starting to flip over on me. I'm just validating real fast. I am being given the Tower and the High Priestess. Oh, no, I'm not. It's the Tower and the Ace of Pentacles. So this means something is coming to an end. Something is coming to an end, but it's also bringing a brand new beginning. And you know, anytime the Tower shows up, the brand new beginning is coming right after. But this has to do with changing something in those mundane daily tasks, your daily patterns. Something has to crumble and fall apart so that the new beginning, the brand new tangible reality, the hook that you're looking for is actually able to be hooked. Something has to die. Something has to crumble and fall apart. But with it will come everything that you're desiring, basically. But I feel like that's more of validation than anything. Like I'm being given validation from somebody. I feel like somebody's specifically not meaning for it, but is asking for that card to go, all right, yes, this is what has to happen. Really? Is it that one? No, I'm not going to use cities. Wait. Okay. I just felt it too close. I was being pulled to pull from the past deck. Past life deck. This is vows. This means somewhere, whether it was this life, somebody you walked away from, something you're holding on to. This is a vow, whether, no matter, if it wasn't today, it's past life, period. So this is somewhere along the line. You made a vow. And you think by changing that vow now that you're letting yourself down and you're letting other people down and you're letting you just feel like by changing that vow, breaking that vow, you're doing something wrong. But in truth, the only reason that that vow still lives, still exists, is because you still hold on to it. You still believe in it, but it's not meant to be there anymore. This is something that is meant to go, like the tower. The only thing that's standing in the way is your head believing in the vow of that you need to stay and continue to do something that you are not meant to be doing anymore. Like I said, it could be a past life. This is farm. For some of you, this may be telling you to, visit a farm and go somewhere. But what I feel more that this is telling you to get out in nature. Nature will help you make that understanding. I'm also being given a Pegasus right now. And for me, Pegasus stands for happiness, but stands for believing in magic, believing in being able to rise above and that things can change, that what is unbelievable is actually believable. Anything else? Communal living. Communal living is coming up. And for me, when this comes up when I'm doing a deck like this has to do with saying where you live, those daily mundane tasks, something about it doesn't serve you anymore. And you still think that the people that are around you have to be taken care of, or that they took care of you, one way or the other. But this is, again, a past situation. It is not your responsibility. It is not your responsibility to make sure that they are taken care of or that they are taking care of you. This is an old idea of how living should be, is what this is about. It's not what it should still be now. That goes along with that tower energy. Libra. Responsibilities. Become discriminate about the people you choose to help. What was I just saying? There are too many people in your life who don't take responsibility for themselves and instead rely on you to sort it out for them. There's sometimes it's not your responsibility to take care of everybody else. Libra, you guys are bad at that. That's that trying to balance everything, trying to find justice, trying to find harmony, and you guys try to create harmony and balance sometimes in places where it's not meant to be. Sometimes you have to realize it's not your responsibility, and your only responsibility is to yourself and your happiness and creating the life you desire so that you're living the true life you're supposed to be living. And instead of accidentally trying to make it perfect for everybody else, because what it's doing is making it unperfect for you. Nope. Forgiveness. Trusting yourself is often harder than trusting in others. Don't worry if you get this wrong. The consequences will not be as bad as you seem to think that they are. Forgiveness. And the last one for the day that I've given you guys for the month is exhaustion. Long and challenging as this journey is, it is worth the struggle. The results are long-term and worthy and worth every sacrifice made along the way. All you've got to do is clear this 12th house for this month. And then you're being re-illuminated, reborn, re-blessed. All you gotta do is make it past this 12th house. Figure out what is sacred to you. What your sacred space is. Stop giving it away to others. Realize what truly means it to you. And love yourself. And everything's about to shift. Because like I said, that tower is saying that you have a brand new, beautiful beginning coming. But it all depends on if you're going to get too choked up to make the changes. Really, that's what it comes down to. So don't get choked up. I love you guys. And I'll see you next month. Bye.